This is Mac OS Ken.
Preparing for Tim Cook's departure, Apple's Masimo fight drags on, and word of another change for MLS on Apple TV. It is Monday, the 17th of November, 2025. I'm Ken Ray, and this is news from Mac OS Ken, brought to you by yours truly and sponsored by NordLayer. Secure your network, block threats to your business, and get 28% off NordLayer yearly plans today with coupon code MacOSKen-28 at nordlayer.com/MacOSKen. This show is also supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/MacOSKen. Tim Cook may be planning an orderly exit. The Financial Times ran a piece Friday saying that Apple's board is stepping up its succession planning efforts, with Cook possibly resigning in 2026. While the piece says Apple is not expected to announce transition plans before the December quarter earnings report, the article's four writers seem to think an announcement could come sometime around then. Holiday numbers should hit around the end of January or the beginning of February. Bearing that in mind, the Financial Times says an announcement early in the year would give its new leadership team time to settle in ahead of its big annual keynote events, its developer conference in June, and its iPhone launch in September. To Daring Fireball's John Gruber, the Friday Financial Times piece is almost like a soft launch for this transition. The report cites several people familiar with discussions inside Apple. While Gruber has no insiders of his own on this one, he writes the following: that several people spoke to the Financial Times about this says to him that those sources, members of the board, did so with Cook's blessing, and they want this announcement to be no more than a little surprising. So who's it gonna be? While no one who can say for sure is saying anything, the Financial Times says Apple's Senior VP of Hardware Engineering John Turnus is widely seen as Cook's most likely successor. Cook has indicated in the past that he would prefer to see an internal candidate picked as a replacement. That said, the Financial Times secret sources say that no final decisions have been made. For his part, Gruber loves the idea of replacing Cook with Turnus. He also doesn't see Cook actually going anywhere. While he may not be CEO, Gruber sees a title like Executive Chairman in Cook's future. That would leave Cook playing a significant, if not leading role for the company when it comes to domestic and international politics, especially with regard to President Trump. Speaking of executive shuffles, former COO Jeff Williams is officially done at Apple. The 27-year Apple veteran announced his planned retirement earlier this year, handing the Chief Operating Officer title off to 30-year Apple veteran Sabi Khan. That transition is now complete. A piece from Mac Rumors says Apple removed Williams from its leadership page on Friday. Apple may or may not be on the hook for $634 million in a patent infringement suit. I mean, a California jury says it is. Engadget says a jury in the Golden State ruled last week that Apple did violate a patent held by medical device maker Masimo when it included blood oxygen sensing in Apple Watch. According to Engadget, a federal jury sided with Masimo, saying that Apple infringed on the patent. What's funny is Apple disagrees with the verdict, though not necessarily the finding. Maybe it's just the way the article is written, but the piece has Apple pointing out that the single patent in the case expired in 2022 and is specific to historic patient monitoring technology from decades ago. So why do I say Apple may or may not be on the hook for these $634 million? Because the company reportedly plans to appeal the decision. Because of course it does. Sadly, there appears to be plenty more where that came from. A piece from Apple Insider says the U.S. International Trade Commission has started a new investigation into Apple, Masimo, and Apple Watch. At issue this time, whether the blood oxygen changes Apple made earlier this year still infringe on the Masimo patents. Recapping the happenings, the piece says back in 2023, the ITC found that Apple Watch Series 9 and Apple Watch Ultra 2 models infringed Masimo's patent over blood oxygen measurement technology and blocked their import. In response, Apple removed the blood oxygen sensing feature. Apple then subsequently reintroduced an updated version of that capability in August of this year, following U.S. customs approval. While Apple did get approval for the reintroduction from U.S. Customs, Masimo said it had no idea that that was happening. Doing the whole thing in secret bypassed due process protections, according to Masimo. Apple Insider indicates that a new ITC ruling is expected sometime in 2026. More news in a moment, but first a word from today's sponsor, NordLayer, a toggle-ready network security platform built for today's business. If strengthening security for your business was on the 2025 to-do list, now is the time to do it with NordLayer's Black Friday savings. You probably know Nord for its consumer VPN. Built for business, NordLayer does that and a whole lot more, combining VPN, access control, and threat protection in one easy-to-use platform. No new hardware, no huge setup, just secure connection and full control in no time. Or on your own time if you like. NordLayer includes step-by-step onboarding with support available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. What you're adding is security, not a lot of new hardware. NordLayer is a layer that works with your existing setup across major platforms like Windows, Mac, Linux, iPhone, and Android. NordLayer has various plans and pricing options for you and at a great savings right now. Get their exclusive Black Friday offer, 28% off NordLayer yearly plans with coupon code MacOSCan-28 at nordlayer.com/MacOSCan. This offer's only good until the 10th of December, so don't wait. Try it risk-free with their 14-day money-back guarantee at nordlayer.com/MacOSCan with coupon code MacOSCan-28. Keep your workers working safely and guard against outside threats with NordLayer. Get 28% off yearly plans with coupon code MacOSCan-28 at nordlayer.com/MacOSCan. More news around Apple and Major League Soccer. The site Sportico says the deal between the two organizations is being cut short, though that does not mean it's ending. Unnamed insiders say the MLS on Apple TV partnership will now end 3.5 years earlier than the original decade-long term, which sounds like part of a bigger shift for the sports league. An MLS season currently runs from the end of February through playoffs in December. That'll still be the case for 2026, though the 2027 season will consist of a shortened sprint campaign, according to Sportico. The next full season will begin in July of 2027 with a break from December to February, then the remainder of play and playoffs running through May. That change reportedly led to changes in Apple's payment for the seasons. According to Sportico, Apple's initial arrangement was a 10-year deal announced in 2022, set to carry through 2032. The deal will now be up at the end of the 28-29 season. Apple held an option to back out of the deal after 5 years, according to the piece. That could have had the company hitting the exit after the 2027 season, though one of Sportico's secret so-and-so says Apple gave up that option as part of the new arrangement. So that is the deal being cut short, though as I say, doesn't mean the deal will be ending. The piece says the new arrangement gives MLS a chance to test the media rights market more quickly after the 2026 World Cup. That'll be played in Canada, Mexico, and the US, and could help boost North American interest in the sport. That said, the piece says MLS could still extend its Apple deal or sign a new agreement with the Cupertino company. Dismissive though I was, at least a segment of the global population was completely taken with Apple Pocket. Cult of Mac says the Issey Miyake-made crossbody bag for iPhone sold out immediately on launch day. Not bad for a piece of cloth priced at between $150 and $230. Cribbing the cult's description, crafted from high-end materials and obsessively engineered, iPhone Pocket turns a simple phone pouch into a fashion statement, complete with a minimalist design and an unmistakably Apple aesthetic. And that was enough for some. iPhone Pocket went on sale early Friday and disappeared in mere moments, according to the cult. That was every length and every color gone in no time. As for what that tells us, really not much. Some people like the thing, it does tell us that, but how many and what else that might translate to is impossible to say. Apple billed iPhone Pocket as a special edition, so the number available was probably not huge. The Cult of Mac piece lands somewhere between cynicism and pragmatism, saying, a quote attributed to various venture capitalists and tech bros over the years says, you can sell 30,000 of anything. In other words, selling a limited number of a product isn't a guarantee that it's a blockbuster. And finally today, Apple TV is blurring the lines between TV and real life again, this time for the show Pluribus. As it's done in the past with Mythic Quest and Severance, Apple Books is hosting a title from the fictional world of Pluribus. Carol Sturka, the character played by Ray Seahorn, is a romantasy novelist in the show Pluribus. We meet her as she's wrapping up a book tour to promote her latest book, Bloodsong of Wakaro. Mac Rumor says Apple Books has posted an excerpt of Bloodsong. Reviews are mixed and also fictitious. Mostly the people reviewing the book just want Carol to be happy. You can download the available chapter now on Apple Books. macOS Ken, brought to you by me and sponsored by NordLayer. Get 28% off NordLayer yearly plans today with coupon code macOSKen-28 at nordlayer.com/macOSKen. This show is also supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/macOSKen. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media, online at backbeatmedia.com. You can find me on Mastodon, macOSKen at mastodon.social. You can also send me an email, info@macOSKen.com. Until next time, that is news from macOS Ken. I'm Ken Ray.
Ciao.